Birth and death are funny things. People end, they stop, they die. I'm not sure how to put it more bluntly. But the echoes of their life lives on without them, in the memories of the people they meet. A little snapshot of their existence contained within another's brain. And then the way we change people. Our parents help define who we are, our teachers, our friends. Without them, we wouldn't be who we are. And even when they're gone, we still have that part of them in us. And then we change the people we meet. And so on and so forth, the echoes of life live on. Even if the one that it started with is long gone. You even can get quite clear glimpses of people that have died possibly hundreds or even thousands of years ago in the text they've written. I mean, it's kind of shocking that you can read a book of some poor soul that died forever ago, but their words are still there, clear as day. It's quite the sight. Oh my. Today, something new will be born. You bring Bonnie home swaddled in soft blankets. You set her delicately down in her crib. She quietly begins to cry. Oh shit! Baby crying! What do you do? Give her a soft... check her... Give her a soft... Attempt to acquire... Give her a soft... You plonk down next to her a little plush bunny rabbit. She seems mildly entranced by it. For a second it seems like true love at first sight. But then she proceeds to insert the bunny's face directly into her mouth. For a second you think about taking it away, but she's utterly content. Just chewing on that poor rabbit's face. Hey, if it works, it works. The next few years are comprised mostly of crying and pooping, and considering that I'm not a sadist, I'm not going to subject you to that. So I hope you don't mind, but there may be an itty-bitty time skip. It's a wonderful spring day. The sun feels warm on your skin. There's a soothing breeze carrying the smells of flowers and newly blooming life. It's a perfect day to go on a walk with your little Bonnie. As you peacefully stroll along, a little white rabbit jumps out in front of you. Bonnie is simply overjoyed and reaches out towards it. But the next second, there's a sickening screech, and the rabbit is now airborne, being held in fierce talons, piercing through its flesh, staining its white fur so very, very, very red. As the hawk swoops off into the distance, Bonnie looks up at you, tears in her eyes. What do you do? Don't worry your little head about anything. That little rabbit always wants to know. You hear the sound of a faint whimper in the background.
Survival of the fittest, motherfuckers! Get that fluffy butt!
Please don't cry. I know it's sad, but hawks have to eat. Nature can be twisted. Bonnie cries a lot. A lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. When dinner time comes, she refuses to eat any meat on her plate. She vows to never consume the flesh of an innocent creature again. It probably didn't help that you were serving rabbit for dinner, but the next morning you cook some bacon, and as you can imagine, her stint with vegetarianism didn't last as long as hoped for. You see Bonnibel looking up at you, beaming. Her face and hands a rainbow smudge of chalky marks. In her hand she tightly clutches a scrunched piece of paper. She raises it up in triumph. It appears to be an incomprehensible mess of scribbles. A mess of overlapping chalky colours. You assume it's a deep, postmodern representation of the human soul. You clap your hands in delight.
Dragons are way cooler than dinosaurs. Get with the times, kid.
I'm really sorry, Bunny, but it just looks like scribbles to me. But nobody starts off good at something. They practice, and
how dare
very
back away in terror, letting out an ear-piercing...
Very postmodern. I see you're clearly taking inspiration from the school of... I'm really sorry, Bunny. For a moment, Bonnie's face is very sad, but eventually that sadness hardens into steely determination.
She vows to become the best person at drawing dem dinosaurs in the whole dem world. The tyrant of T-Rexes, the Don of Diplogopi, the Viscount of Velociraptors. I would go on, but I ran out of shitty dinosaur alliteration. I'm sorry.
Dad, are slugs jealous of snails? It's just snails have those little houses on top of their backs, and slugs don't. It's just unfair. They don't have a place to hide and curl up in, or a nice place to sleep when it's cold outside. It just doesn't seem very nice.
Considering
Well, life isn't fair. Deal with it.
considering the evolutionary viability of both of them,
Well, they do have to carry their house around on their back all day.
I know I would enjoy doing that personally.
In the end, fairness always balances out.
Snail.
Well, during the
Snails.
considering the evolutionary viability of both of them, I don't think either of them are better off. I mean, slugs and snails.
I think Bonnie might hate you now. And with a response like that,
I certainly do too.
I like slugs.
I like slugs too.
Well, ew.
I like slugs.
You and Bonnibel have had a long day wandering around the great outdoors, peeping at wildlife. As you sleepily wander home, the sun already setting, the sky at dark blue, the last traces of light saying goodbye to the world. From the shadows, you hear a sickening crunch. Oh God, no, I didn't mean to. Out of the darkness, you see,
It's only a snail.
oh, sweet pea, don't cry, it's all going to be fine. You didn't mean it, it was an accident. It was a horrible thing to happen, but crying about stuff can't change it. No matter, Bonnie. I know it's bad now, but we can learn from our mistakes. Next time we go out, we can bring a flashlight, so if it gets dark, we can shine it on the ground, and no snail will have to be trodden again, because Bonnie doesn't seem to want to reply.
it is the dead of night,
And you hear a door slowly creak open. There's a small, scared voice. There's a monster under my bed.
Bonnie, monsters aren't scary. What is scary is the unknown. It's the darkness, it's not being able to see. Give the Bonnie a gun and say, you'll be safe with this. If you see a monster, just shoot it.
Oh my God.
Bonnie, don't worry. I'm sure the monster is far more scared of you than you are of it. Only one of you is hiding under a bed.
Bonnie goes back to sleep and has a very peaceful night. A few days pass, and eventually you find a rather unpleasant smell emanating from Bonnie's room. After further inspection, you find a series of rather rancid cereal bowls under Bonnie's bed. After inquiring to Bonnie on why such things are there, she replies, well, if the monster's too scared to leave from under my bed, it wouldn't be able to get food, and it would be hungry, and I'd be sad if I couldn't get food, so I brought it food, so it could have the food to get it with the food. It goes.
The air is cold, the sky is dark, spooks and monsters abound, creeping through every shadow, with one thought burning in their minds.
Holy shit, we're gonna eat a ton of sweets.
Bonnie's face is pressed up against our living room window, looking out at the majesty of Halloween.
Spooks, ghouls, and ghosties abound. And princesses. For some unexplicable reason, princesses. I don't know why.
And on this fateful day, you have the chance to choose what particular spook, ghosty, or ghoul.
A priest, a lawyer,
a queen,
a priest, to show a zombie, because spiders do have 8 arms, and Bonnie most definitely enjoyed the costume. But it was met with mixed success. On one hand, our neighbour turned out to be arachnophobe. On the other hand, he gave us all his candy as well as £20 just to go away.
It's a lovely autumn day. Orange leaves gently drift along in the cold breeze. Once again, you're going for a walk with Bonnie. It feels peaceful. You feel quite content. Numb to the world, Bonnie is happily skipping beside you. You can't even feel the cold breeze on your face. Your arm doesn't seem to move. You realise that the soothing sensation of numbness, it felt quite calming at first. But now you can't feel your body. All the sensations you've lived your whole life with. The feeling of air rushing in and out your lungs, your heartbeat, your clothes on your skin. They were so omnipresent. It just faded into the background. You forgot about them, but now it's gone. Its absence makes you feel so empty. You begin to slowly topple backwards. For a second you worry you'll hurt yourself when you hit the ground, but you remember at this point your body seems not to be capable of feeling anything, let alone pain. You look up at the sky, your vision beginning to fuzz. There's a face, someone above you. You try to speak, but somehow you can't manage to get the words out. You desperately try, repeating it over and over in your head, but in the end, there's only silence. At least I got to spend my final moments with you. I don't want to leave. I'm sorry. I'm going to miss your 7th birthday. I wanted to get you a dog. It's funny, I thought it would hurt. At least I got to spend my... I'm sorry. I'm going to miss your 7th birthday. I wanted to get you a dog. You hear a faint cry off in the distance, but suddenly the cries are not so distant. A wave of noise hits you, cackling, hooting, screaming. You can't tell whether the makers of the sound are going through the most sensual joy or the worst pain you could imagine. You open your eyes, the noise suddenly stops. You see strange figures in front of you, small, carrying a mixture of hope and fear on their twisted faces. One slowly creeps towards you, and it appears to attempt to bow, even though its body seems rather unsuited to the position. It splutters out. Please, please. I see fear in your heart, and you are right to be fearful, for they appear to have set up some sort of feast to celebrate the coming of their new saviour. They seem to be happily chirping to each other in some sort of strange alien song, passing small cups of dirty water around, as if they were wine.
Pizza! Pizza!
No meat.
Pizza!
Any
Pizza! Pizza! Meat!
Any food is good food. No meat.
Pizza! 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 Pizza!